In this inspiring and motivational speech by speaker Salon alum Susan Eckstein, she teaches us that we all have bias when it comes to parenting and how to move past them. She also demonstrates powerfully the importance of memorization and how when you move beyond knowing the script so well that it becomes part of your DNA, this is when you are free to play with the audience and your material.
I'm terrified of water. I'm not talking about the crystal clear water found in Evian bottles or the bathtub. I'm talking about open water. I'm talking about all the bodies of water that people flock to for vacation and fun. While other people swim and relax in open water, I feel fear. I have panic attacks. When I walk into knee-deep water, my mind gets hijacked by thoughts of peril, like being attacked by an army of crabs, electrocuted by jellyfish, strangled by seaweed. And because I'm from New York, dead bodies popping up in the water beside me. These absurd fear-based stories are not limited to people who fear the open water. They're the kind of things we tell ourselves every single day that prevent us from doing big and scary things. They're the stories we create that stop us from going after our dreams. For most of my life, I avoided challenging and difficult situations, so I felt safe. But as I approached 40, something awakened inside of me. I was tired of being afraid and watching other people do things I only dreamed of doing. So instead of letting my fears stop me, I decided to do the one thing I thought was impossible: an Ironman triathlon. Now, when you do a triathlon, you start in the water, and you're encased in this hot, tight-fitting, restrictive wetsuit. Once the gun goes off, it's chaos. You get kicked, punched, swam over, pulled by currents, and often lose sight of where you're going. And when you need to pee, you do it in your wetsuit. For most people, doing an Ironman means swimming 2.4 miles, biking 112 miles, and running 26.2 miles in 17 hours with 3,000 of your closest friends. For me, doing an Ironman meant making it out of the water alive. I thought my first Ironman was the scariest experience of my life. I was wrong. It was the day I moved out and left my children with their father after we told them we were getting a divorce. I had the picture-perfect life. I was a happy stay-at-home mom with a loving husband and 2 beautiful boys. But inside, I was hollow. I loved my husband. He's a good man, but I wasn't in love with him anymore. We were best friends, but there was something missing deep inside of me. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Looking back, I realized doing the Ironman was my first time practicing real courage. A mentor of mine describes courage as peeing in your pants and then doing the thing that scares you with wet pants. During the Ironman, a voice in my head said, "Stop being afraid." At the time, I was a certified spinning instructor and personal trainer, yet I never looked for a job because I thought I was too old. I was 38. Despite that story, I landed a job in less than a month. And within 2 years, I was a rock star spinning instructor and personal trainer. I mean, I had groupies. I felt alive for the first time in my life. Our marriage counselor suggested we work out together. So I brought my husband to the gym where I worked. Even though we were both Ironmen, we never worked out together because we tag-teamed watching our 7- and 9-year-old boys. We made awkward small talk, and the dynamic quickly shifted from husband and wife to trainer and client. It was the most forced and superficial conversation we ever had in our 20 years together. When we got to the cable machine, I loaded it up with heavy weight and did a set of standing rows. When my husband picked up the cable, he couldn't pull the weight. He stood in silence for a long time. Finally, he said, "When did you get so strong?" I don't know who you are anymore. I'll give you the divorce. Sometimes those closest to you don't see the transformation that's happening inside of you until it's staring them in the face. It looks like a sudden change, but it's not. Transformation happens slowly and quietly. It begins by connecting to the deepest part of you, connecting to the deepest part of ourselves, that inner knowing that slowly germinates until it blows you wide open. Transformation is powerful, it's messy, and it's scary because you know your life will never be the same. Society dictates that children belong with their mother when parents divorce. Even though leaving my children with their father was the most loving thing I could do for them, and getting a divorce was the most loving thing I could do for me, I felt tremendous guilt because I wanted to be happy. So much so that I hid my true living situation from almost everyone. And over time, I created this elaborate and painful story about a selfish mother who ripped her family apart. This disempowering narrative kept me stuck for years. How many stories have you created that are keeping you stuck? What are you thinking about right now that's stopping you from doing what you really want? Your life is a reflection of the stories you tell yourself, how you live, how you show up, and how your life plays out. You get to decide what your past and present means and whether you are the victim or the superhero of your own life. My new story is about a woman who had the courage to follow her heart, who stepped into her power and created a life built on strength, transformation, and resilience. A woman who is a role model for other women. And because I changed my story, I now have a career helping others do their impossible. Abraham Hicks said, "The greatest gift you can give someone else is your own happiness." My boys get to see their mom happy, and I get to teach them a powerful lesson. The life you are meant to live happens when you are willing to walk into fear with wet pants. Thank you.
If you desire to share your very important message from the stage, go to speakersalonapplication.com. And be sure to share your biggest takeaways from Susan's talk with me. I would love to hear from you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you have access to my latest video. I'm so happy that you're here and will always respond to your comments. Big love.